It is late in April, and Daniel, Victor, and myself, Marcel Flores, are back at the microphones. Welcome back to I'm Trying, Dude. Season 3, we took a little break to sort ourselves out and figure out how we want to tackle this next season. We came up with a few good ideas, I think, and today we're getting started. Main topic for today is going to be courage, and obviously we're going to talk about the courageous things we did in the last 2 months and a bunch of other things. So we hope that you guys enjoy today's episode.
Yes, missed it. I mean, I don't know about the mouse thing.
No one cares.
What is
Are you
that?
rapping on this?
Wait, do you want me to?
I thought this would be...
Hold on. No, wait.
Do better.
I'm trying.
Dude.
Dude, I think I told you this before. The color of that hat's fuego.
Yeah.
Did it come like that, or did you just wear it in?
No, it's like patina, if you will.
So you've had it for a while.
I've had it for a while.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Bro.
Dude. What's up, baby?
Oh, we still haven't figured this out.
Doesn't matter.
But you...
We're back. Oh, sorry. I'm so strong.
But we may have not figured out the handshake, but we have figured out the jingle, as you just heard.
Oh.
And it was almost as good as a Spindrift pop. Cheers, bro.
Cheers, man. Dude, welcome back.
Welcome back.
It feels crazy to be here. Season 3?
Season 3, and we're
Let's
still
go!
figuring this thing out. We're still trying, dude. Still trying little by little to make this world a better place.
Absolutely.
Like a little bit happier, a little bit sunnier, a little bit more handsome.
If we can.
If we can.
If we can.
Oh, we can.
What's been up, dude? This is like, it's
Bro,
nuts.
We probably should have talked a little bit more about how far we want to go back, but my, oh my, so much has happened since we last spoke to all of you guys. A little bit, before we dive right in, a little bit of a welcome back. If you're still here or here again, we fucking love you.
Yeah. Thanks for coming back, guys.
Yeah, we're stoked. We are continuously trying to be more ourselves and to inspire, honestly, you guys to do the same. That's like the whole entire process of this podcast. I think I personally know now more so than ever, where it's just like, it's a trying to, especially in front of cameras with microphones on and headphones and like in an artificial setting, to like, even so, be more ourselves, because, you know, you and I started this shit because we had conversations and we thought, wow, what you told me is helpful to me, and what I told you is helpful to you. And
Absolutely.
if only somebody else could listen in and maybe learn from our mistakes, our insights, the things that we went through. So I'm making myself choke up a little bit. Like, I got a little teary-eyed. I'm like, it's not that serious, right? But like, I am going to try and bring it back to this a lot. And
Hell yeah.
Dan is going to be as stupid as he actually is in real life now.
Very dumb. Very, very dumb.
Very dumb.
Very dumb.
We, as you guys heard in the intro, want to talk about courage today, and like we want to walk you through some of the shit that we've gone through recently that kind of like has an air of that. So I want to talk a little bit about, just a little bit, just because I need to flex it a little bit. I ran a fucking marathon.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
dude,
I
you ran a
marathon.
That's
Like,
insane.
it's insane. Like, you've done it, but
Yeah.
it's insane that both of us did it. And it's insane how quickly you start comparing yourselves to like just runners.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
It's like, you know, like, it's like, oh yeah, 3:20. Like, I beat my goal by 10 minutes. And I'm like,
Insane pace, by the
and
way.
thank you. And I'm like, no. And remember when we had that conversation season 1 and you were like, yeah, I ran it, but I didn't finish. And I was the one that was like, bro, you ran a marathon. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. And then I did it. And I'm like, yeah, could do it faster, I think.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the comparison trap is real.
It's tough. But honestly, man, like, a note out there to any one of you, if you are considering doing a marathon, as you know, fucking do it. The feelings, like, I broke down crying. One across the start line almost, like, I didn't give into it because I'm like, had the whole race to run still. But crossing that finish line, like, I didn't anticipate it, but everything just came overflowing.
Yeah.
And I can't even pinpoint, like, what emotions they were. It was a breadth and it was awesome, fucking awesome. So I did that, and then now I'm like, I'm very much struggling with my knees still. Like, I hurt myself.
Ran so hard, his knees are dust now. Can never run again, truthfully. But it's fine. It was worth it.
Let's not speak that into existence.
Okay.
I'm worried. So I tried to run 6 miles on Saturday. I stopped at 4. I'm like, it hurts. No, we're working on it. It's going to come back. That was like a big highlight for me. Hit me with one of your big highlights over the last 7 weeks it's been?
Has it been 7 weeks already? Dude, I mean, the first thing that's popping into my mind is acting class. Acting class has been going really great. I think week by week, it is a challenge in vulnerability and a challenge
Speak
in
of courage.
I mean, I was going to talk about
Yeah.
that today. Is I think, it's a lot of getting in front of, I think we have a class of like 18 to 20 people. So every week your goal is to get up there and try to like exercise a part of your psyche or a part of your past or like something emotional that you want to like work out, you know, whether it be like extreme happiness or sadness or, you know, whatever. Coming with something prepared to do in front of everybody while they watch you and you get like live feedback. So definitely scary at times, but I've really been loving it, dude. Like it's been a challenge that I feel like I needed, and it's such a way to like let go, and I feel like I'm making a lot of new friends. So that's been really, really nice.
What would you say? What was like the thing that brought you to acting? Like, what's the
to acting in general?
Yeah, like what's? I mean, you've shared this a little bit. There's like you kind of fell into it a little bit through your sister, right? But like, if you had to pinpoint like a somewhat primal desire, like primal, not like something like why is it important to you?
I mean, I just like being in front of people. I love entertaining people. Like, I think I just really love like being in front of people.
That's so
either like
tracks for you.
making them laugh or like just like having not like eyes on me per se, but I've always felt like comfortable being like the show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, it's really funny. I do get that entirely. Like, as much as many people would probably put me in the same category as you, I don't think that's where I would be at. And like, that's because I took acting classes too. Like for me, it wasn't ever that. I had my like own insecurities and like I needed external validation. So in that sense, you know, eyes on me, definitely wonderful. I'm also a Leo. I'm like soaking it in, like, look at me, this is great. For the wrong reasons, I'd argue, but I think some people are just truthfully like entertainers. They're here to like make this world a better place by entertaining, right?
Yeah.
Like comedians, for example, like, and actors, of course, and musicians and whatnot. But for me, it was always something that you just said, and that's why I wondered whether you would go down that way, is you get to live all these emotions, right? Like truthfully and to a full extent. Whereas like when you live in society, it's often this like, yeah, you get to be angry, but not too much. You know, like you get to be happy, but like also dial it. You don't want to make this person jealous or that person upset because they didn't, whatever. But on set, you just get to fully go into it. You get to be mad. You get to be crazy mad. Yeah. It's asked of you to let go, to feel all these things. And that's what always attracted me to the field, because I'm like, wow, what a freeing experience. And how much of a challenge is it to show up that courageous to actually do it? Because it's one thing to be allowed to, but then because you've never been allowed to do it your whole life, it's like, oh, I get to just actually live my feelings is a crazy thing to me.
It's funny because the teacher actually urges us to do that. Like there's been times where I have gotten angry in class.
Right.
And then I will act angry or I'll say something, you know, angrily, but then I'll dial it back because like, in society, like you said, we're like, you can get angry, but you can't get so angry. Right. And she'll get mad. She'll be like, why did you pull back on that? Like you should keep going.
Yourself. Yeah.
Like if you're angry, like you're not gonna blow up, you're not gonna kill somebody.
Right.
You know, but like that like you're expected to have this like full range of emotion and like really feel it.
Right.
You know, because then the audience gets to feel it too. So I think it's funny to be going through this training of kind of unlearning what the societal constraints around your emotions that like you're kind of constantly walking around with, which I didn't even know that I had. You know, it's like people who are like talking about something that's you know, heartbreaking or really sad that they haven't really processed.
Right.
And during them trying to talk and figure it out, she's like, give into it. Just give into it. You know, and they'll start crying or they'll start screaming or they'll start slamming stuff. And it's exactly what she wants. She wants you to feel the entire range of emotion. Because at the end, it makes you a better actor and artist and feeler in general, you know? So it's very cool. It's different, but I'm loving it, man.
She sounds like a fucking badass. She sounds like a good
dope,
teacher.
Dude, she's so awesome.
I mean, think about why that's such an essential part of becoming an actor, right? Like people love going to the movies because they get to feel through someone else, like vicariously almost live through the main characters primarily. Like that's the perspective the story is told from, right?
Yes.
And they get to live their emotions fully. Right? Mm-hmm. And since you never are, and you are not the person, like not like how many people on this planet go to acting class, right? Like you might, like even as an actor, you're like, oh shit, this is where I'm supposed to push through, not pull back.
Right.
Now think about an average human being that like goes through their life that isn't necessarily aware of like, or in touch with their emotions. We watch things to feel things.
Right.
Right? Because in our own lives, we have this cap on. Right? Mm-hmm. And so of course it makes sense that if when you're in training that like, you are literally learning how to take the cap off so somebody else gets to feel then through you. And I think that's like, as I struggle a bit sometimes with the importance of creative jobs, or like, I don't know, compared to like a doctor who's saving a life, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
Dude, content is so important to the world, bro. What?
no, I mean, for that
it
obvious
is,
reason,
but it's,
right?
I know, I totally get it.
No, but
totally
like, entertain me, ironically. Entertain me for a second. Get it?
Bing.
Theater has been around since like, you know, the Greeks and whatnot. Like,
Right.
it's always been a thing for people to like have something to feel more, be entertained, experience new things that are far from reality that'll still teach you something maybe, and like give value to your life in one way or another, right? And I think it is important. Like, I just think it's important. Like, who's to say, like, you know, people say like laughter is the best medicine. And who's to say that that's not actually a thing that's helped people turn them away from, like, I don't know, a suicide because they were done with this life. You know what I mean? Like, so of course, on a surface level, it's like, it's much less meaningful, right? Like, who the fuck are you type thing.
Right.
But when you go, especially acting, I think, like, because it is a reenactment of life itself, right? For other people to watch, judge, view from a distance, safe distance. I actually think it's pretty fucking awesome, you know?
Acting in general, you're saying?
Yeah, well, like the arts or creativity.
I mean, dude,
you know,
yeah, it's
it's just harder to pinpoint a little bit. Like with a doctor, he saved your life, and you're like black on white, like this is good.
Yes.
Versus like, you know, all the other shit.
Yeah.
So much like, and it's been a reason for self doubt and like for.
But like, dude, think about all the times you were
choices.
sitting in your feelings, listening to sad songs, crying.
Right.
Or like, you know, your favorite movies. You're like, dude, I fucking love that movie because the scene is just like, oh, it gets me so, you know, Or like anytime that you've like, you read a book and you've seen yourself in the main character of the book. Like, I think that is, like, you're 100% right. It might not be like directly saving someone's life where it is like, oh, a doctor or a fireman, you know, launching someone out of a burning building. But at the same time, like, the creative spaces are so important to mental and physical well-being because so many people can relate to those things. And it is like a way to pass on that like really heavy emotion in your own way.
I feel like I think this is where I get caught up, and this is really only a theoretical argument anyway, because like we live in the world we live in. But I think those things, these escapes from reality, seem vapid if you put it in contrast of like, okay, we created the shit that we're living in, and then we need to create an escape from the reality that we created. Like, what if we, instead of putting our resources into creative jobs that help people temporarily escape the suffering, what if we just stopped doing that and all focused on creating a society that actually was like a bit more utopian, where I'm like, we just all got along, and like you wouldn't have to you know, rely on a sad song to get you through this heartbreak, but rather you had fostered relationships with your parents, your friends, whatever, who could really truly talk you through it, and like we'd be okay letting each other feel our feelings and like encourage it, and not be this is now I think we're at a good, no, sorry, we're on the emotions, we're on courage.
Absolutely.
I think something that takes a lot of fucking courage is when somebody's sad next to you and in tears, to just sit there and to just be with them.
Ooh.
To not have the desire to be like, oh, shush, it'll be better. Or like, to not try and make anything better. To not judge it as a bad thing.
Wouldn't that just be like empathy, though? Or like a...
Yeah, I guess. Of course. I mean, this is not a foreign concept, but like I'm thinking, in theory, that's one thing. But like, I notice it more and more. Like I do it with Clara. Clara's going through a somewhat rough patch overall, with some family stuff, and it is hard sometimes to just bite your tongue and just be there and like hold the other person and just accept that it's okay that they're sad, because like our society doesn't necessarily teach that a whole lot.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like rub some dirt on it. Keep
it
on, man.
But I mean,
I'm sorry. Can you show up to work on Monday still?
Because
you're like, fucking yes.
Crying's not covered by the insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a little a side thing, but yeah, that's cool. Acting's fucking cool.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
dude, it's been great.
It's in my head. It's still a potential of like, if everything goes to shit, like when I'm 50, I'll just become a mediocre actor, get paid enough to survive, but have a really awesome like day-to-day life.
What do you think I'm doing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Nice. Okay.
So I'm curious because when I was like, dude, I'm coming over today. I'm excited. We're getting back into it. And you were like, dude, I'm kind of in a mood. I'm excited to talk about it on the podcast. So like, I want you to air it out. I want to hear what's been going on.
Okay.
You know, because this is all new for me. So like, I'm getting all this info firsthand. This is not podcasty. That really happened.
This is rare. Yeah. No. Normally we do chat. We do chat a good bit. Yeah. I woke up today and I felt like shit. Like I just felt like shit, and
physically, emotionally, spiritually.
Yeah, let me get there, bro.
Right,
this is one of those moments where you just shut the fuck up and let me share my feelings.
It takes
bro.
courage.
It's fine.
You know?
It also takes common fucking sense, bro. No, I woke up. I felt alright. I slept like 8 hours. I woke up like early on the hour. Like I have a 1 hour window where I wake up with my Whoop. I woke up early. I knew it. I'm like, okay, cool. That means like I'm rested. So I was like, okay, fine. I've been doing this like. I want to call it a prayer, for lack of a better description, but I've been doing a prayer every time I wake up and every time I go to bed right now. Like I take 3 deep breaths, I talk to myself, but I literally move my lips. Like it might not be audible, but I move my lips so as to not have it be, so as to have it be separate from the mind chatter, right? Like distinct. Just like being grateful for my body, being grateful that I woke up, for how I'm feeling, like that I'm excited for the day ahead, looking at a few things. At the end of the day, being grateful again and whatnot.
Right.
So did that, everything felt good. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, Monday morning, I love Mondays. I really do. Like recently I've been loving Mondays. Like I love the Fridays. I'm excited for the weekend, but I'm also excited for the week again. Today was not that day. And I couldn't figure out why. Like it was an empty day for the, like I had workout planned in the morning. Then it was an empty day up until you and I were going to meet up. And I didn't feel like shooting a YouTube video. I was like, okay, I can do that tomorrow. I didn't feel like doing content. I didn't have like emails pressing or anything. Like, so what do I do to fill these hours? And then there was a weird cycle of like, oh, okay, and maybe I don't feel so great physically, or yeah, but I'm also not motivated. So like I was in this loop. So like I wasn't sure if I felt off because I'm susceptible to the weather. Like I'm a little bitch when like the weather drops a lot. I'm like, it feels odd. Like I get these like this droning feeling in my mind. Like, so I canceled my workout class and I like stand on the couch. I did a lot of like breath work and I tried to like, okay, good. Like if you're gonna take an L on like your routine, like focus on yourself truly. You're not gonna play video games. You're not gonna like zonk out and watch TV all day and shit. Like if you feel like you have this whole day that you could do something with, and you can't come up with something that like feels good to you, that's problematic. Like that's, what the fuck are you doing with your life? If you know what I mean. Like there's this large chunk of free time and you don't know what to do with it.
Wait, you feel like that? Like that? I'm sorry. Is your issue with like the downtime, like actual downtime, or like? Because I feel like we've talked about this before. Where like
Yes. So I think what I've been concerning myself with a lot is actual downtime, in the sense of like, if I have free time, I'm not gonna like. We wanted to talk about this. Maybe we can talk about that next week. But like video games and shit, like to me, I don't consider downtime. It's an artificial, stressful situation. I literally start sweating more than any, like literally like stress sweat, more than any other thing in my life. Gaming will get me to stress sweat. Like it's not relaxation.
Okay.
It's diversion. Right.
Okay.
So fuck no. Like and I've been way off of TV because I rely on that too. So I've just been like, okay, cool. Like, but if I have a whole day ahead and I don't know what to do with myself, like. That's a problem. Like I want to feel some sort of purpose, some sort of sense that like, is part of why we're doing this podcast right here, but it just doesn't feel like it's enough. Like I feel like I'm ready to like do more and I'm not doing it. And I think that's why I want to bring up, why I didn't want to lean into it. Like at some point it takes courage to take a leap, to take the step towards like the next thing. And like, we've done that once, like we started this thing and now we're doing it again. Like every season, like with every break, like you have to kind of like keep pushing through and like you trust yourself again and you do it again. But what if you don't know where to leap to? Like there's not I've played with so many things, whether it's going back to school, getting like a psychology degree or actually don't running out, consulting, like nothing truly like creates that flame in me. Like there might be a bunch of sparks, but nothing's like taking. So I sat down and I brought essentially my life story into ChatGPT and be like, yo, I'm going to get real deep and real honest with you. I'm going to tell you pretty much everything I know about myself, like that I think might be important. I stopped at some point because it's a whole lifetime, but like I was like, let me start. Like, well, I'll keep going back to the thread and keep feeding it, like, and be like, it'd be nice to have an objective view of myself by like an AI machine. Be like, okay, cool. Like, look at all of this shit, and for it to tell me what I might be missing. Just from a purely logical standpoint.
Interesting. I would never think to do that.
I hadn't either. And then I was like, again, I felt like I owed it to myself to put actual hours into the bettering of that situation. Right. So I did that. It was like an hour-long process where I wrote like, I don't know how many words. It was a lot.
ChatGPT was like, oh, whoa, hey. buddy, I'm a computer. Hey.
Calm the fuck down. No, he was real nice. He was like, thank you for trusting me with this. I'm like, you're welcome, bro. Like,
That's
you're my
cute.
guy. And I'm frankly not all that much better yet. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's something that...
Did you learn anything? Like, did ChatGPT spit something out that was like
no, I told it to ask me more questions specific to like what more info next I should give it to like be more. So no real output yet, which is okay. I wasn't really looking for it. I think at some point I do like in my mind close up. I'm like, I don't need a computer to actually tell me how to live my life. I think because I use it so much and from like a productivity standpoint, I thought it was an interesting way to maybe start going about it. But it gave more, so it's kind of like writing a letter to a person and then never sending it.
Yeah.
It's like I started writing all these things down that I know about myself to like, just so I'm, again, more in touch with like, okay, what parts of my life do I remember right now? Like what seems to be important to me? But I also, again, I'm like, I think I've been in this for a long time, like a few years, even before I've moved to LA for a while, like where I'm just, I feel like there's more to my life than what has been. In terms of helping other people or in terms of like fulfilling a purpose. I believe that's my purpose, but I can't, maybe I'm in the process, maybe I'm right where I need to be. Like I'm on the path with this podcast and other things that I'm doing, like, in-person things that I'm doing that have nothing to do with social media and like just using my time charitably, where I feel like, okay, good, this is getting me there. But, sometimes you're in the middle of the road and like, all you see is the road and you're walking it and you don't know if it's actually leading where you hope it's going to. And at some point you turn back and like, is that really where I walked? Have I walked here before? You start wondering if you're going in circles. Like you go crazy a little bit. Yeah. But,
it takes courage to talk about that shit. Even coming out and saying that is crazy. It's funny because I wrote down, one of my notes was like the first thing that I have. I just had like, courage to do this, courage to do that. The first thing was the courage to do new things and like start something new. Yeah. Because that's it's terrifying, dude. To go from like, and this is like for any what's the word? Job. Anything really. Like to start something completely new that you're not comfortable with and you have no idea if you're even going to enjoy it is like huge.
Right.
Like I don't think people give that enough credit.
Yeah.
Like even just like taking a class, like what? I'm signing up for a fucking adult gymnastics class.
Fuck yeah!
I'm trying to. I was like, that would be so sick if like at the age of 31, I could learn to do like a backflip. Yeah. I think physically I can. I think mentally I'm a little scared, and but I know like physically I could totally do it.
Right.
Anyway,
of course you can.
Yeah. Right. Of course I can.
Look at you.
Yeah. Right. God. I've got springs for legs.
It's literally jumping up and tucking your knees. Which I can't do it either. But I know the theory.
I've never been done on a trampoline. Like when you have assist, I'm that scared of like falling on my face and crashing my cranium.
It is your moneymaker.
But all that to say, like I think just the fact that you're going after something and just the whole uncertainty of it all, being like, look, I'm not happy in this thing, or I don't know what my calling is, or I'm not really feeling fulfilled in X, Y, and Z. Let me just start trying stuff and throwing it at the wall and seeing what sticks. That takes courage, Yeah. Because so many people they'll be like, oh, that's it. I'm just not going to be happy. That's just the way life is. Like I don't know. I mean, I definitely felt like that, where I felt trapped in a job, and I'm like, is this just like what life is going to be? Like, because I feel like from a young age, you're taught like you got to grow up, you go to school, from school, you go to college, from college, you get a job, and you work really hard until eventually you retire. That's the way that I was.
That's the plan.
Exactly.
Like, deviating from it takes courage. Period.
Deviating from it in any sense. Like even if you want to take up like a freaking sport, like a rec sport, like maybe you love your job, good for you. But like maybe you're unfulfilled in other ways, and you want to take up like sports or the arts or whatever. Like just any new endeavor takes courage, especially if you don't. It's uncharted waters, and I don't think people get enough credit for doing new stuff that scares them a little bit, no matter how small.
Yeah. No, for sure. I also think like, so let me grab my phone really quick.
Yeah, do your thing. Spoiler alert, it's in my butt cheeks. I got it in the old prison wallet. I've had it here the whole time. He has no idea. He's looking for it on the couch right now. He can't find it because it's in my booty cheeks. Oh, what's up, dude? Hey.
You're so dumb. I literally got so excited starting this episode that I forgot to put my phone in front of me with the notes for the episode.
That's fine. Takes courage for you to admit that. Can't believe you pulled that out of my butt cheeks without me knowing. That's crazy.
I'm just waiting for you to work up the courage to fucking leave right now.
Get out of my house.
Jesus Christ. Okay. We were talking about
starting a new endeavor.
Yes. So I wrote things down. I did prepare for this. I have a couple things I want to get into. I have another emotional drop my pants moment for you.
Let's go. Drop them.
I know you love it. Fuck. Sorry, here we go. I wrote this down. I think the wildest things to achieve. Only then can you start seeing the steps to get there. Dream big. Dreaming big makes so much sense. If you actually do allow yourself to believe this dream, you're better than the majority being afraid to actually believe it. Like this is I think it was a little bit of an after birth of like what we talked about before, like the dream. Now what was the disillusional like
the not like illusions of grandeur or delusions of grandeur, but like to chase after something with like delusion.
Yeah.
With like the fact that I will not fail, that I'm just going after it with full tenacity.
Right. Exactly. So that coupled with like only if you start to allow yourself to just think it, right? Like that's when like I want to do a backflip. Mm-hmm. No. Like I can do a backflip. What are the steps? And in this case, easy. Take a fucking class, have someone help you, teach you the steps, right?
Right.
But then it had this very high other thought that was, if you look at life is but a sum of your experiences, right? Both internal and external.
Right.
And if you live the same life, however small or big it may be, but like it's the same things over and over, what do you expect to change, to learn, to grow from? It's the same things. Like you can learn from the same situation X amount of times, more than once, I'm sure, right? You go through it more often, you get a skill out of it, you get a better understanding of the situation, you get a better understanding of the person. But
for sure,
at some point, there's a limit where I'm like, if you want to keep growing as a human being, which I think is a kind of the purpose of this whole thing, right? Like to just experience more, you just gotta keep trying these new things. And I think, look, many people find what works for them and they love it and that's all they need and that's okay. But I personally believe in the eternity of the soul. I personally believe in a constant bettering of the soul, like from a karmatic standpoint, right? Like I believe that all our interactions are in a direction of, to use a Buddhist term, like nirvana, right? Like where we become part of the whole again. Like every day is a test to like forget that you're this human and remember that we all came from like the Big Bang, like to tie it back into science a bit, like right? Like my belief system is a weird one. Like I take a little bit from what religion,
the collective,
exactly. But one thing,
yes.
So in order to figure out more who you are, who you yourself, this part of the whole is, the true you need to experience more so you can, shave away the layers of the onion that you think you are now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the more stuff you do and you don't like, you're like, oh, I don't like that. Try something else.
Right.
And you could fall in love with the next thing.
Right. But then you start new things like running a marathon for me or climbing. And I'm like, I'm taking away lessons from these sports that are applicable to my life and giving me answers to questions that I had put into completely different boxes in my head. Like there was, the climbing box and then the running box. And then there was like, oh, my career. Like running a marathon means you have a goal in sight. you set out to do it. It's going to be painful, but you push through because you know it's going to be worth it. And then you can look back and say, I did that. Mm-hmm. I know I'm not the first person to call this out. Many people run for that exact reason, right? But like, once you do it and you live it, we've mentioned this on the podcast before too, like it's different if you understand the theory of a thing versus you living it. And a marathon is still something that you can manage in like 3-4 hours versus 3-4 years, 3-4 decades. Like, you get to have this experience that takes a lot of work and like preparation, and you work through it, but then you have this like miniature version of what is a major life lesson, and you get to do it in 3-4 hours, right?
Right.
And then you've lived the experience fully versus, raising a child, right? Like, you do it and it's a long, painful, beautiful process, right? There's a lot of highs, there's a lot of lows, there's a lot of challenges, right? But you do it because then, you created this person, you hopefully made them a happy person in this world a better place. Like, I'm just saying, try new things because you don't know where you're going to get a lesson from that you didn't even expect. And like, it's so sad that for so long I stopped trying out new things, like me personally, I think. Even when I was happy with all the things that were going on in my life, you know what I mean? Like, I think it continues to make me happy and makes me also continue to appreciate the things I have. Like you said, like, what if I try something new? I'm like, oh no, what I had before, I liked a lot better, so I'm going to stick with that.
I don't think you should feel bad about not trying new stuff. Like, I feel like that's also part of like life itself. Like, you find stuff that works. You keep, like, dude, I went to Matcha Full yesterday with Miliana.
Right.
And have you ever been to Matcha Full?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once.
Dude, their Earth Glow matcha is phenomenal.
Okay.
Right? They have a list of other matchas. And I was looking at them and I was like, oh, this looks kind of good. Like, whatever. They had one that's called like the something chai. And I was like, that sounds really good. But you know what? I know that Earth Glow is good. I've tried it before. And I feel like if I went with another option and I was not that happy with it, I'd be a little mad. So
Especially paying $8 for the cup.
8? Try like 12, dude. Like, why are they so expensive?
Why?
It's green powder. Anyway, but that, like,
It's
my point being that
white.
we're like,
yeah.
but like sometimes you get like, what works, and you get comfortable in what works, and you stick and you continue to do what works.
Yeah.
I don't think you should feel bad about that. Because if you find stuff that works and that you like and that's working for you at that point, like I don't know, I hate the thought of like carrying regret around. I don't think like whether you try something new or you don't or whatever, like just you don't want to beat yourself up about it either way. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. And I think thank you for calling me out, because I feel like what happens to me sometimes is like I get caught in like my periphery of my life. And like, I think for me, it was very important to try new things because I wasn't happy. So
Absolutely.
then I'm like, and I had to find the beauty and the importance of trying new things. But you're so right. Like, at another point in life, I'm sure I might not want to try a whole lot of new things, / not when I know what works for me and what makes me happy. Like,
but just like at the time, the decision you made was exactly what you wanted. I think that's like something that just popped into my head as well. Whether for better or worse, or exactly. At that point, you made the decision that was best for you, and all you can do is like live with the consequences of that action, and then pick something different the next time you're presented with that situation.
Right.
I don't think. Like obviously there's some actions that have huge repercussions, but at the same point, like, I don't know, like still you can just learn and course correct and make a different choice the next time, or just do better. You know, like you learn, you adapt, you keep going. Like
You're trying, dude.
Exactly. Like I don't, like, and I think if we're going to tie all this back to courage, like I think that is the beauty in all of this, is that you literally could just keep fucking up and trying new stuff and liking some stuff and hating some other stuff, and then just keep course correcting. And like every time you do something new or the same thing or different, it still takes courage to make a choice, like to do the choice that you feel like is best in your heart.
Yeah, that will always,
because like there's some stuff that you may be like, this I know is right. And other people could be like, I don't know why you would do that. You're insane.
Of course. I mean,
But like to make a choice, to own it, to live it, and then to figure it out afterwards, no matter what it is, big or small, taking a course, going back to college, quitting your job, whatever.
Right.
All that shit takes courage.
Yeah.
So like you should be proud in whatever choices you do make, because you're like, okay, I made the choice. Now I get to live in that decision and move forward from it, good or bad.
Right.
No matter what you're going to learn, or you're going to adapt, or whatever.
For sure. I mean, except like letting life unfold and accepting as it's unfolding and like learning and growing from it and with it. Absolutely. Like,
for sure.
I think that's a courageous thing to do. If I will say the one thing, like, if you concern yourself with yourself truly and ask yourself, okay, who am I doing this for? Am I doing this for me because it's truly the best choice that for me, or am I doing this because it's going to please my parents? Am I doing this because I'm just afraid? Like, I'm dropping out of college, but I'm afraid because if I just have to go through with this bachelor degree, like other way around. Like, I'm staying in college, I'm making this choice, but it's really because I'm afraid to like succeed in the business that I want to do by myself. Like, as long as you know what decision you're making, like, is it for you truly, right? Then doesn't matter what you're making, like, it's courageous if you're choosing you, not if you're choosing expectation.
So also,
right?
what was that video you sent me of that guy who's like a medium who like talks with his eyes closed, who's basically saying, like, he's like, I'll tell you everything you need to know right now, and you literally just have to like make the choice that feels best in your heart. That like I'm gonna butcher it. I feel like
I forget what the names what the guy, that medium's name is, but he's channeling Bashar. And he says that to always make the choice that has a little bit more excitement in it for your heart. And it's funny because like you go into the comments and everybody's like, oh, this guy's straight up like telling a bunch of people to do drugs. I'm like, duh, of course. Why has he got his eyes closed? Is he dumb? Yeah, I mean, you and I believe in shit like that. A lot of people don't. I've watched enough videos, had a lot of experience to like have my own little data collection where I'm like, yeah, I fuck with it
for sure.
But yeah, of course, that it's a prerequisite of like he says it with integrity, like make these choices with integrity, and that's a part that like basically everybody overlooked and was like, oh yeah, just more excitement. Like that's not true with integrity, and that's that like heart bit, and that's that like true you bit, not the one that's lazy, that wants to fuck off, that wants to forget about the reality and like just disappear into nothingness because it's easier, not the easier excitement, like what excites you for who in your truest core you want to be in life and like how you could get there. Because we all know there's always these moments, right? Like we sit there, we're sitting on the couch and we're like, I don't want to go to bed, I want to watch another episode. And there's another voice inside of you that's like, if you go to bed now, you'll be more rested and you can kick tomorrow's ass.
Yeah.
That voice is always there. It might be really fucking faint. It might be really fucking loud. But it's always there. Like we have our intuition. I believe all humans do. Learning to not only listen to it, but like discern between, okay, what's my ego right now? And what is my intuition? Like which voice is it? Right? Because I'm like, I can convince myself that like, yeah, but I'm not tired enough yet. If I just watch one more episode, I'll be more tired afterwards, right? But then truly like, okay, if you're not tired yet, then go turn the fucking TV off, do some yoga, do some breathwork, do some reading, do anything that'll actually lower your alertness, not watch more TV. So like the whole point being like, yeah, fucking like choose the voice that you know is right. Like you know it, we all fucking know it. And that takes so much fucking courage.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But then you find these moments, and this is a little story I wanted to tell. Like, it's me on the plane, and I wanted some tea. And like I've been a better flight. I used to get shit faced drunk on every flight I took because wine was free. I'm like, oh yeah, give me another. And funny thing is, never really had an issue asking for more wine because once I got a little tipsy, I was like, ding ding, hello, can I please have another, sir?
Which I will say is crazy because I feel like I feel so bad hitting the help me button.
Well, that's why I'm getting to. Like, drunk is one thing, right? But sober, I'm like, all I'm asking for is tea, and I'm literally like, I do it. Like, I have to. Like, I'm flying to LA. It's 6 hours. I'm like, okay, I get meal about 1 hour in, and I got 1 hour before. I'm like, so I got over 4 hours. So I can maybe, like, if I wait 1.5 hours, I can ask once, and then maybe the second time, I don't click the button. I just walk back. I ask them in person when I'm taking a leak. Like, it's a whole program, right? And then you'll go back there, and this is not to shit on flight attendants by any means. There's horrible hours, like you work through the night, other people but oftentimes, right? They're just sitting, especially on a flight like New York, LA, it's daytime, it's 6 hours, not crazy. They're sitting there, they're on their phone, like on Instagram, like any other person on their job that like isn't necessarily super in love with their job. Or even if they are, it's a downtime. I personally don't think I should be afraid to ring the button if I want a tea, like do something that's good for me, right? Like, because I'm afraid that I'm going to take time off their social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it happened, and like I asked for a tea, and the guy wasn't even nice about it. And also like
That wasn't even nice
wasn't
about
even
it?
nice.
Really?
I'm like, bro, I'm walking to the back to get me my tea. Like I'm doing this on purpose. He doesn't know. This is my expectations of the whole thing. But yeah, I'm sitting down, and I'm like, fuck, this is weird. And so I did breathwork for like a solid 25 minutes. I'm like breathing, like. And I thought about all this shit. Dude, it feels like a fucking superpower sometimes. Like, to just, because it pulls you so into your body and into yourself and into your mind, and like, you process things. And I was like,
Breathwork you're talking about.
yeah, for me. Well, I was like, no, you know what? Like, I want another tea. I want to press the thing. I want to be nice about it. And if he's upset that I'm calling him over when it's part of his job, then that's okay. Like, that's on him.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, that was to me a big.
How'd it go?
It was good. I mean, it was solid. Then the other people come. Like it's 2-3 people that are working. Like it was fun. You know what I mean? Like, it was fine. I will say, whenever I used to fly business class a lot more than I do now. Never had that problem up there. They would ask me what I wanted before I needed to press the button.
Sir, you pushed the button. You need a tea?
But alas, we're
Dude,
slumming it
I
again.
fucking threw up in economy and was scared to push the button and ask for medicine.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, poor baby.
I know. It was sick though. It all got in the bag.
You were sick.
I was sick. I was shivering. It was crazy.
Oh, no.
It was on the flight back from Thailand.
Oh,
And
no,
I
just
don't
that
know,
one?
dude. Yeah, I don't know what
Oh,
happened.
shit.
I must have eaten something weird or whatever. And I was just like, I literally was like shivering, shaking, like. And Miliana's like, do you want me to call the guy? And I was like, no, it's fine. I'm fine. Just fine. Don't bother him. Don't. Literally dying. And then I ended up puking in the bag. It was, I will say, as far as puking on a plane goes, so seamless, so great. Like, it all made it into the baggie. It was 2 good, like, chunders, and then closed it up, threw it in the garbage, and I felt better. It was fine. But to your point, I did not. I felt bad asking for help even then when I was like, I'm going to blow up internally and externally on everyone in this place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not to like one up your story, but
no, it's fine.
But like,
You did,
I think
you did, and I'm glad you did.
it's the
Like-
antithesis of what you were saying. You were scared to ask for tea. And which, same fear, just in an entirely different scenario where I'm
No. Like
shitting my
that's fucking
pants,
crazy.
pass out, and I
that's
still don't
rough.
want to ask the dude for like, hey, do you have any like Dramamine to help with these shakes?
I mean, ironically, we were here at this point before where you talked about Emiliana like offering you a Pepto-Bismol. You're like, oh, I'm fine, I got this. Just fear of being seen as frail and fragile.
Dude,
like,
I also had that too. It's like the courage to speak your mind and ask for shit that you want.
Yeah.
It's so hard to ask for stuff that you want.
yeah.
At least
Of
for
course, people
me.
like us.
Dude,
yeah.
dude, and I don't know. I hope somebody else out there has the same issue because like it's if you want to just fucking ask for it. Like the amount of things you could actually get and like improve your own self with by just asking for it is like, I don't know. But it's like the hardest thing to do.
It is. Like what helped me with that, because I've been working on that actively also, like that, and now I'm actually like, okay, good. No, like I ordered a different dish. I'm sorry. Can we you messed this up.
I never do that.
I've started doing that and it feels great. And then I gotta say, like, as long as you do it with a smile on your face, if you're pissed, same thing. If you're pissed, that's on you. Because like if anybody asked either one of us for fucking anything, you and I are the first people like, fuck yeah. And like, and if it's like, I'll find a way to make it work. I'm learning also to put up boundaries the same way I'm learning to ask for myself. But like, no, maybe like I would love to help, but I literally can't. Like, or I have my reasons for why I don't, and trust that I don't have to communicate them every time. Like, it's okay to just say no.
Right.
And hope that the other person still fucks with you, because if they don't, maybe they're doing you a favor and walking away for good anyway.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like we would be the first people to like do it. So like, why do we constantly assume that other people, like, honestly, it's kind of standoffish of us to assume that we're much nicer than other people. Do you know what I mean? Like this, it's like you could be like, okay, well, who the fuck do I think I am that I'm nicer? Like, surprise me.
Yeah.
Like, like
True.
be nice. And it's happened before. I'm like, literally, I've asked for things and all that. Like, I expected to like. Also, like, what do you expect? Like a growl? Like who the fuck are you? Don't ask me for more coffee. Like,
You want a tea?
yeah.
I'll get you a fucking tea.
And ironically, I've gotten attitude. I feel like I've gotten eye rolls. But I don't know if I'm seeing them because I'm expecting them, or if I'm just misinterpreting. Like, what if it's just like, what if the eye roll's basically been the whole plane, like because the person's just having a terrible day.
Yeah.
And I just think it's about me. Like it's a fucking egocentric point of view, really.
True.
Like it you know, like something to think about.
No, that's good. That's good to think about.
Yeah. No, like it's been helping me. Like I've been shooting things off, requests. You want to tell me a courageous story, don't you?
No, I don't.
No, you don't?
Dude, it was funny. When I was prepping for this, I was like, do I have any courageous stories? And the only thing I could really think about was just like, I mean, quitting my day job and trying to like make a full run at this like creative life, you know? And it was met with a lot of backlash. Like my family was the very vocal about how it was the dumbest thing I could do, about how I was crazy to give up the security of like, you know, a 9 to 5 and all that stuff. And I don't know. I think I think courage, just like the word itself, in my head at least, elicits like, you know, a soldier. A soldier's got courage. A fireman has courage. An ER doctor has, you know, courage to go in there and operate on someone on, you know, 16-hour shift or whatever. But I think that like there's a lot of courage in like the mundane everyday tasks or things and decisions you have to make, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think like
for sure.
if we're gonna do like Dan's like takeaway or whatever,
nice.
you know, if we're gonna
bring that back.
We're
bringing it back for sure.
I really do think that like every little decision that people make and choice that you make takes some degree of courage, and I think like more people should give themselves credit for making the choices that they make and sticking through it, seeing it through, learning, and then adapting, overcoming, or, you know, realizing they like something, realizing they don't like something. It's all a learning experience. I think, I don't know. I just think like more people should pat themselves in the back more for going through it. Like life's fucking hard, dude. So
I mean, it is if you make it, but it can also be fucking easy if you just allow yourself to do these things and like accept that courage is like it's not an option. It's just like, if you want an easy life, just learn to be courageous. And the thing is, the more often you do it, same as with anything, the more often you do it, the better you get at it, because the more often you realize that like every time you were courageous, turns out that the worst case scenario that you've been imagining in your head didn't actually happen.
But it could happen, you know?
Yeah.
Like the worst case scenario could still happen. You can make a really, you know, courageous choice or a good choice in your head and hell breaks loose and you fuck up. I think you should still pat yourself on the back for making that choice.
Yeah, because then you get to learn something.
Absolutely.
Like if you learn to accept everything that is in life, right? Like then you can try without fear, because if you accept every outcome and view it as just what it is, and don't let it deter you, and don't interpret every single thing that happens as a thing. That's like what they say about anybody who's done a business. Like you don't sell to 2, 3, 4 people, you sell to 100, right? And you'll get 98 no's, but eventually you get a couple yeses, and that's the start of your business.
Right.
But like people stop after 2, after 5, after 10, because they think that means that they're bad, that their product is bad, that they can't do it, that they can't so the courage only lasts so much. But if you don't let that influence you, if you accept it like, okay, you don't want it. I don't know the reason why, but you don't want it. You might. There's a billion people that might want it, right? And ironically, how we kind of started off the episode, where it's like, this is very much an experiment in courage.
Absolutely.
It's how can we be more courageous in sharing with each other and with whoever's listening and watching what we feel, what we live through in life, how we view things. And that's why the title is I'm Trying, dude. Like, it's the courage to try in the first place. And at the same time, to me, it's always been an appeal, and I hope that it reads that way to like any sensical person listening to this, to take on a non-judgmental stance, not only towards this podcast, but in life. Like to
and
not
for yourself.
Exactly. To just not assume you know what is good and what is bad within yourself and with others, to just accept and flow as much as you can.
Absolutely.
Right? I
feel like that was a great. That was great.
I was like the inhale of it. You didn't feel the silence. I'm like, okay, I think that we're good.
Yeah. No, it's good, dude. I think you're right. You're 100% right.
I think we're right.
I think we're
right. Do you think we're right?
Bottom line, fucking cut yourself some slack. You know, you're like, truly.
Yeah, and do more things. or don't, but make the courageous choice.
Yeah.
All right, now we're
just
doing the Dan
spiraling.
thing.
Yeah, now we're just like, and another thing. Let me fucking. No, dude. Thanks for coming back. Welcome back. Season 3 is gonna be awesome. We got a lot of cool stuff.
We don't. He's lying. We've got nothing planned out. We plan.
And it's courageous to say that because we have planned absolutely nothing. We're figuring it out.
We're gonna talk after this about what we're gonna talk about next week.
Yeah. But thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Hope you learned something.
We love you.
Catch you guys next week.
Keep trying, dudes.